Welcome back to One Time YouTube channel. Today we will be looking at top 10 richest country in Africa. Top 10 richest African countries in 2022 ranked by GDP and primary exports. Here we discuss the 10 wealthiest countries in Africa 2022 and 2021 and the nature of their economies. All figures are based on the latest annual report by the International Monetary Fund (IMF) and the World Bank using GDP current prices in US dollars. This post was originally published in 2020, but has been updated to reflect the latest financial figures. The 2022 estimates are as follows. 1. Nigeria, the richest country in Africa, with GDP $510.58 billion. GDP $510.588 billion. Nominal 2022 at global ranking 31st. Population 215,553,411. GDP per capita $2,355. Nominal 2022 at real GDP growth 3.4%. Country group developing lower middle income economy. Value of exports $53,618 million. 2019 current account balance minus $15.486 billion. Currency Nigerian Naira, NGN. This West African country, with a population of over 200 million citizens, makes up an essential part of the African economy. With a GDP just over $510 billion, Nigeria holds the position of the richest country in Africa. The sizable GDP is mainly driven by finance, transport, infrastructure, tourism, and an abundance of crude oil. The country records around 1.6 million barrels of crude oil a day, according to OPEC, making it the largest exporter of crude oil in Africa. These petroleum exports make up 10% of the total GDP and over 80% of the export sector revenue. In addition to petroleum, Nigeria has an abundance of raw materials and natural resources, contributing to the region's wealth. These include coal, limestone, zinc, lead, tin, natural gas, niobium, and iron ore. There is also sufficient fertile land for agriculture, which is responsible for over 20% of the GDP, producing cocoa and rubber. The large population have helped to propel Nigeria as the largest consumer retailer in Africa, and the digitally aware residents have contributed to the country's fast-growing tech sector. According to the World Bank, Nigeria's GDP grew 7% year-on-year between 2000 and 2014, one of the fastest rates in Africa. This has slowed to 2% in recent years due to political instability, socio-economic factors, and oil and production shocks. The country has placed a strong emphasis on protecting its natural resources, trying to move away from its large reliance on oil refineries and processing plants. Known for its vibrant cultural heritage, different ethnicities, natural splendor, and large population, Nigeria remains the #1 producer in terms of GDP output on the continent and Africa's wealthiest country. 2. Egypt. GDP $435.62 billion. GDP $435.621 billion. Nominal 2022 at global ranking 35th. Population 105,891,415. GDP per capita $4,162. Nominal 2022 at real GDP growth 3.3%. Country group developing lower middle income economy. Value of exports $36.7 billion. 2019 at current account balance minus $15.386 billion. 2021 at currency Egyptian pound, EGP, pound. This ancient land in northern Africa held the spot of the richest country in Africa for many years. However, the economy suffered severely and foreign exchange reserves tumbled following the 2011 revolution during the Arab uprising. With the most recent GDP of more than $400 billion, Egypt now holds the second spot on this rich Africa list. Economic activities have improved and stabilized over the last decade to experience positive economic growth. The government recently concluded an economic reform program alongside the IMF aimed at reforming and bolstering the economy. Real GDP growth reached 5.6% in 2019, up from 5.3% in 2018. The country has also seen unemployment levels fall, an improvement in foreign exchange reserves, higher export of goods and services, and a bolstered tourism sector, all contributing to its development. The leading factors of the Egyptian economy include petroleum and natural gas exports, tourism, wholesale and retail trade, construction, and real estate. The state has diversified its economy away from just raw material exports in recent years, and over half of the GDP now comes from service-based employment. However, Egypt could face some socio-economic issues due to a large percent of people living below the poverty line, unemployment, a weak healthcare system, and a global slowdown. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe, like and comment. We'll continue the video soon.